What's up, guys? This is Miguel. I am here with my buddy Carlos. His wife Beringy is not here, but just a little bit of background on them. Carlos is, are you a high school teacher? Is that what
I'm
you
a
do full time?
middle I'm a middle school PE teacher.
Okay, PE goes very well because you've been staying fit. You've been in the gym industry. I know being in middle school, you probably deal with a lot of bullshit because I know I was a little shithead
It's a lot
back in
of
the day.
it's a lot of back and forth, but kids are good. Most kids, well, all kids are good. They're just going through their phases.
That's awesome. So Carlos, he's a PE teacher. His wife Beringia is a nurse. Both working traditional jobs. And I think when we talk, a big motivation for you guys to kind of put more on your plate as far as like getting into investing on top of your day jobs was more for kind of like that financial freedom, or what was it specifically?
So for us, it was like you said, seeking financial freedom, investing in assets that can cash flow for us, and we were just looking for avenues to cut down our work time. And we started
Yeah.
investing in properties out of state. And this is when we came across you and met you at one of our meetings, and were able to take advantage of your services and help us scale for
Yeah.
all of our properties, or this project in particular.
Hell yeah. No, so I'm really glad about that. I feel like working your day job, I have my business too. That's kind of my day job too, but I love it. But I also want to be like a DJ. So it's just like
Yeah,
being able to what was that?
you had mentioned that. Yeah, I know that's your passion.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Barinci about that last night. Mitchell loves his DJing gig.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people kind of share that same. You have your job that's kind of getting you by, but then you have your other passions and you want to like invest in these different assets so that you could buy back your time, whether it's to spend it with family or build a different business. Or in my case, it's like I just want to be a DJ and
Yeah,
also still continue building this business because I love entrepreneurship. So I
awesome, man.
appreciate you sharing where your guys' motivation comes from.
Yeah,
Um, but working with them, we've been able to help them access funding to basically turn that dream of financial freedom, having more time for themselves, building up those assets that are going to cash flow to actually turn it into action. So I kind of wanted to dive a little deeper into
sure.
just kind of what it was like before we started working together, before we kind of started the funding journey and you guys getting into investing. What was that kind of like? What did your day to day kind of look like?
So before we started investing, we were looking to buy a home in Los Angeles. And
Hmm.
again, my wife's a PA, so I'm a teacher. We had saved a considerable amount down payment, and we were just looking at home prices here, and we're like, you know what? We're going to be tied to this house. We're going to be debt slaves. So
Hmm.
this is when rates were super low, homes were expensive. So we started looking at investing our money out of state, and we started looking at Columbus, Ohio, and Indianapolis, and then come to find out that you were doing properties in Indianapolis too, which is kind of cool. So
Yeah.
we chose Columbus, Ohio, because as you stated earlier, I used to own a gym, and my business partner is in Columbus, Ohio. So if I really needed to make a phone call and have somebody come drive by a property, I could do that. In addition to, we were doing our research, and a lot of it was on Bigger Pockets, different forums, how everyone gets their feet wet. And
Hmm.
through those forums and through talking to different realtors, and I wasn't just talking to realtors, Miguel, I was going on Facebook groups, and I was joining all these different Facebook groups, Latinos in Columbus, Ohio, single mothers in Columbus, Ohio, single fathers in Columbus. Like, I was asking questions because, again, I think you said like fear is a big thing, right? I wouldn't say I don't have that fear, but I'm a bit of a risk taker. But I just want to make sure I
Hmm.
calculate the risk. I can know what I'm doing. So I started joining all these Facebook groups and asking questions. What's going on in Columbus? What areas are good? What's new there? And what kind of swung the pendulum from going from Indianapolis to Columbus was Intel is building their new foundry factory there.
Mm.
Facebook has a small campus there. Google has a small campus there. There's a lot of land in Ohio outside of Columbus, so there's a lot of server farms that are popping up. And we purchased our first property, a sight unseen, just all of pictures and videos, and then decided to take a trip down there to visit our business partner, my old business partner when I owned the gym. And then we kind of drove around the area, and I told my realtor, I said, hey, we had some money saved up for a home. We bought this duplex. If you find anything else, let me know. Right. And so he had sent me within like 3 weeks of closing another one. I was like,
Nice.
oh, okay, like that's pretty fast. So I wasn't like expecting that, but we had the capital, and we moved it into a triplex. And then this is when I met you. So we had enough. Then he called me again like a month and a half later. It's like, I got another one. It's a great deal. And it was a great deal. And I had enough to purchase, but I didn't have enough for the rehab. So that's where we met you, and we're able to get the funding for the rehab. So my day to day was really learning the real estate game for like a year, and
Hmm.
actually putting my knowledge into action. But I think that that's where a lot of people get stuck. It's like analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what I'm doing, and nobody knows what they're doing when they start, right? You just got to go with the information you have. And if you make a mistake, you make a mistake, but you make an educated mistake, right? And that's the situation
Mhm.
we're in. And that's what let us level up to where we're at now. And we're continuing to scale with another real estate project that we have here in California. So I would recommend anyone that's watching this podcast and is know if this is right for you. I mean, ask questions. You can ask me questions, ask Miguel questions, and I think just do it because I listen to a lot of motivational quotes, Miguel, when
Mhm.
I'm out. So I'm 44 years old now. I really just don't listen to music anymore. And so there's a lot of like music going on in the background, but there's just like all these different motivational quotes or speakers. You would know all these people like Tony Robbins and all these things, right? And
Of
there's
course.
just a
Yep.
track with all. It's like on Spotify. And one of the quotes that always sticks out to me because I listen to like the same playlist over and over. It said, "If you had done what you were supposed to do 10 years ago, where would you be today?" Right? And if,
Damn.
if I wasn't,
Yeah.
if I was still thinking about doing this from 3 years ago, right, I'd be in the same place.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just gonna watch one more bigger pockets video. I'm gonna watch, and I think that's the fear that holds everyone back.
Yeah,
I gotta
definitely.
get it. I gotta understand it all, and then you understand it all, and you're 95 years old, and it's like you're too late, man.
Yeah. No, that's such a good point too, because I feel like, I mean, I've been a victim of this too. It's just that
Yeah,
analysis paralysis, and like the
yeah,
other phrase that I've heard that just really sticks is just the idea of like mental masturbation. People just listen to these podcasts, TikTok, do all this research,
yeah,
and I talk to people all the time that I'm like, how long have you been thinking about this? They're like, I've been thinking about it for like 10 years, and I'm like, you have nothing to show for it because it's just like you could do all the research, but the real learning is from the experience of just taking that first step like you did was like, okay, you know what? I want to get into this California property. It doesn't really make sense. I don't want to be a debt slave. I want to have an asset. I'm going to take this next step that,
yeah,
is an extra step, but eventually it goes around into the main thing that you want. And a lot of people just get stuck in that research phase
yeah,
and like telling all their friends they're going to do it, but it's been 10 years, 5 years, whatever, and they still
yeah,
haven't. And it's literally just deciding to make that first step. It's gonna be uncomfortable as fuck if you're new at it.
yeah,
Um, and you can't be afraid to make a mistake. I just started learning this idea with like DJing because I just got booked for a music festival. It's a new level, new devil, and now I'm scared as fuck. But I'm like,
Congratulations.
what was that?
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, dude. It's like whether it's DJing or business, like there's all these different new levels. You're always going to be scared, and like you said, take calculated risks, do your research, but don't just like consume information like immediately after you've learned it, analyze the risk, go take action on it and see what the next step is. Like if there
Yeah.
is a mistake or a hurdle, you're gonna figure out another way to get around it. But most people just don't even get to that step. So I really appreciate what you were just talking about, how your journey started and how you kind of gotten to where you're at now. For you, Carlos, kind of as a teacher, what did like financial freedom kind of mean to you and your family before you got started? You know, not just focusing on your career, but like kind of doing something, for yourself.
So financial freedom looked like so I have a lot of time, Nicole. I'm a teacher,
Hmm.
so it's almost like being semi-retired. I have
Hmm.
180 days off a year, and I work 180 whatever the rest of the days. I think it's 182 days off and 183 days we work. I really enjoy that freedom. I really enjoyed like
Yeah.
those 9 weeks off. I told myself when I went to college that I was never going to work a weekend job ever again. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my degree and I'm not working Saturdays and Sundays anymore. I hated being in the corporate world and having to request a vacation. And
Hmm.
can I get 2 weeks off? And like, Miguel is taking the same time off. And like, unfortunately, we can't. So I don't have to deal with that with teaching. Uh,
Nice.
but the last day of school, I can leave anywhere in the world. And I did this summer. Every summer we go somewhere. And as
Nice.
long as I'm back August, whenever we start the first day, I don't have to request time off. I don't have to ask, questions, or I don't have to anything. I can go anywhere I want. Same thing with Christmas, same things with Thanksgiving. So financial freedom looked like getting the other 183 days back for me. I've
Yeah.
already got half of them. So
I'm trying to get all of
I'm
them.
trying to get all of them, bro.
Hell
So,
yeah.
if you play your game, if you play your cards right, you can do pretty well in teaching. And
Hmm.
I'm learning the game, and I just want all my days back. So that's
Yeah.
why, I'm a teacher, other people, they have their 401k, they have their IRA, and great, I'm gonna have $3 million when I'm 65. I didn't want to wait that long.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly. And
I'm gonna wait 35 years and they on printing money, and that $3 million is gonna be nothing
yeah,
in 20
dude,
years.
I that angle too, because I feel like some people come in with this limiting belief that like, oh, I got to be like a doctor or a lawyer to like, really be making bank to even consider real estate. And like, that's the beauty of the service that we provide for the funding. It's just like dude, if you have an investment or a business model that you're confident is going to print money, and just not having access to that capital for it is the only thing getting you in your way, let's figure shit out like right now. You know what I
That's
mean?
you can get money. So to answer to talk about that is, yeah, I wasn't a doctor or lawyer, right? I had decent grades, but I'm a hustler, and I'll
Yeah.
go. I mean, I think the greatest education is free. It's YouTube University, you know?
Hmm.
So I don't, my wife and I, we don't watch television very rarely. I'm usually learning something on YouTube, right? How do I do this? I'm going to do this, then I'm going to ask someone that's a professional, just so I'm
Yes.
my educated, you know, educating myself so I can take a calculated risk. Plus,
Yeah.
in our situation, right? I had just after your talk, kind of understood you're a busy guy. I can't say like, hey, handhold me and explain this to me again, use your time wisely. Yesterday's
Yeah.
gone, today is gone, and or else you're going to be sitting on the sidelines, like we said. If you did what you're supposed to do 10 years ago, who would you be now?
Exactly. I really that's like, because a lot of people have that fear of the failure, but I kind of have like a similar quote too, where it's just like, I'd rather fail and lose money or whatever it is, be embarrassed now than worry about when I'm like 75, like, oh fuck, what could have happened? Like I feel like
Well,
those have like a similar perspective.
there's another one that somebody I heard. It was a friend of mine told me. He said, you want to impress your 8-year-old self and not disappoint your 80-year-old self. Exactly like you said. Years
Yeah.
old,
Damn.
like, but
Okay.
when you're a young man, little boy, I want to be a football player, baseball, whatever it is, right? You want to impress that 8-year-old version of you, but not disappoint the 80-year-old version of you. Like what could have been, you know.
Yeah.
I worked
And continue
45
to
years.
dream big, you
I
know.
worked 45 years and then, I got $3 million portfolio, but I can't travel anymore. I got health problems.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be there. So that's why we decided like, we have to go, we just have to
Hmm.
go and scale.
Yeah. And you're crushing it, dude. I see it. What would you say, like, right? Because you're doing a lot of research. What would you say was kind of that, like, made you guys decide that like now is the time to finally like move forward? Because you said you guys were kind of like thinking about it, researching it for some years or whatever. Like, what was the thing that was just like, all right, fuck it, let's just go for it?
I'm gonna be like a quote session. So there's
Yeah, dude,
there's
you're just have the motivational
yeah,
speaker up
yeah,
in here
no,
right
so
now. I love it.
there's another one that like, and I don't know where I heard this. This was not on this playlist I listened to, but it was a talk. It was a motivational talk or something. I know it was a talk, and this gentleman said, "You haven't made any changes in your life, something to that effect, because you're not sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Hmm.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired, you do something, right?"
Yeah.
So my wife and I have traveled all over the world: China, India, Philippines, Cuba, everywhere. Some very very poor in life, very very like a lot of poverty. See those entrepreneurs, those hustlers, they get out and become ultra successful because they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. So we were like, we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. We
Yeah.
don't want to work 35 years to get my school pension. It's great.
Hmm.
And it gives you a lot, but I want my other 182 days back as fast as I can get them.
Yeah. That makes sense. I love that. Uh, when you guys were kind of getting started with like the real estate and funding side of things, did you guys have any fears about getting started with it?
Again, I mean, I'm a bit of a risk taker by nature. I mean, of course, you have natural fears, right? Like, what if this deal isn't as good as it's up to be? But I mean, that's why you have your, inspection reports, and I have contractors walk in and boots on the ground tell me things. But yeah, of course, what if the market takes a turn? What if you have a black swan event? But those are the
Hmm.
that's from making any, moves. Again, interest rates were going up around this time, right? When we did this, like, what was it, about a year and a half ago, something like that?
Yeah, it was about a
Yeah.
year.
So, I mean, rates were going up. The Federal Reserve was raising rates. Like that was a huge fear. Like, man, how hard are they going to go? People were saying, oh, mortgages are going to get to 14%, like 9%.
The
It's
fuck.
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a big fear. I'm like, I have no idea what's going to happen with the rates, right? I was actually happy. I'm like, I want rates to go higher because I want these houses, and then refinance. So I was kind of disappointed
Hmm.
they started cutting rates, but yeah, I have natural fears like the uncontrolled, but you can't let those things stop you.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, what do you have control over? You've gotten to a point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and it's just like, just put the blinders on and focus on what you have control over, and then all you can do is do your best. And if that's not enough, you'll figure out the next solution
Or
or
you'll meet
something.
somebody.
Yes.
Anyone that's listening to this, I would say the biggest school I've been to is going to as many of these networking events as you can and meet people.
Yeah.
Maybe at one event it's a waste of your time. And I was just talking with somebody about this. Some people go to one event, they get out of their comfort zone, and I see this doesn't work. I didn't meet anybody, and then they go right back to whatever they do. I had to get very uncomfortable going to events and not need all the lingo, but I just kept on going. I remember driving to one of them. I'm like, man, like I really don't want to go.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. But my 41-year-old self told me, at the time, like, nope, keep on going, just keep on driving.
Yeah,
Get
definitely.
comfortable, get uncomfortable, or else you're not going to grow. You're not going to learn.
Exactly. Every level you're gonna be afraid. It just never ends, honestly.
What's that? There's that saying like, you don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. I want to be the dumbest guy in the room. If I'm the smartest
Yes.
guy in the room, I'm in the wrong room. I need to be in the chair, right? I need to be in the
Yeah.
I need to be in the booster chair. I don't want to be in the chair because that means
Yeah.
there's no more growth. I want to be in the booster chair.
Yeah. That's cool. Let's talk about kind of like the funding process. What was that process like once we decided to kind of work together? Because I know I met you at Alex's real estate in person networking event, which was awesome because it brought us together.
Yeah.
Um, what was the process like? Once as soon as we got started, how much funding did we get you? How soon did you get it, and how'd you use it?
So I told you we were looking for a home. We decided to pivot and invest out of state. So we had money for a duplex, and then I got presented the deal with the triplex almost immediately, like 3 weeks after we closed. And then so we were able to fund the rehab of those with our own capital. And then
Hmm.
I met you at a meeting, and my realtor said, "Hey, I got another one, so I'll walk the deal down for you." It was a duplex in Columbus, Ohio. I know the neighborhood. Homes in that area sell for about 255, 260.
Hmm.
The duplex that was presented to me was in, I wouldn't say rough condition, but it was in need of some love.
Hmm.
The seller was desperate, off market deal. They offered me the property at, I think we closed at like 154 is what I bought it. Needed a new roof, needed a new windows, needed a new fresh coat of paint, right?
Hmm.
Some stuff. I think we upgraded the flooring and some other things. So I didn't have any more funds. I put them all into the triplex and the duplex, and that's where I reached out to you. So with your services, after the meeting, I started researching exactly what your topic was. Right, went to YouTube
Hmm.
University, came back to you. I think probably within like a week or 5 days. It was within.
Yeah, it wasn't too long.
Alex's meeting is on Tuesday, so I probably got a hold of you like that Friday. I probably spent like that week understanding what I need to ask you, and
Hmm.
I would say we got rolling probably that Monday. If I reached out to you Friday, I can look at the text.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we got rolling that Monday, and then I got on a call with a relationship manager that week. And I remember you calling me in the car on the way to the gym. It was probably like 10 days. I remember you calling
Yeah.
and saying, like, hey, you just got approved for $60,000. I remember the first card that we got was $60,000 and 0% funding. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like the first one, like maybe 15, maybe 20. And we got approved for 60,000 off the bat. And I remember you saying, like, do you want another one? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Again, there goes the fear. Like,
Yeah.
I understood what we were doing, but I had never done it. But again,
Hmm.
with your guidance, there's other people I know that have done it that I can lean back on, right?
Hmm.
You said, do you want to do another one? I'm like, all right, let's rip another one. And then the second one we got, I think within like 2 days too, 2 extra days, 2 business days, we ended up getting another 15,000. I think it was 15,500 to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think and then you were like, do you want another one? I'm like, no, that's good. Again, like fear
yeah.
gets the best of us, right? And this was my first time. And I remember at the last talk you had, you're like, you have to use this responsibly, and I
Yeah.
understood
Hmm.
how to use it responsibly, but again, when you get into 100K, if we had ripped the third one, right? Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
that
know.
would have been
I
easy
don't,
if we needed
yeah, if we
it.
needed it, we could have got it, but I'm like, you know what? I don't need it right now. So I'm going to use this responsibly. So with
Hmm.
75K, I did not have the capital to accept that property. So
Hmm.
we use that funding. I use all of it, Miguel. I use maybe like 35, 40 of it.
Hmm.
I got it reappraised. So that I bought it for 154. It appraised for 256. And
Let's
then
go.
yeah, and then I was able to cash out, refinance it, and pull all my money out of the deal. So I think the final total was I know it was just over $56,000. I was able to cash out, refinance. So I
Let's
paid
go.
cash out, refinance, used that money, paid off the debt, and then I still had some money left over, and I rolled that into another deal here, and which is my first property in California with a partner here.
Let's
So
Oh, dude.
anyone that's listening, you got to buy the right deal. You got to know your numbers. You got to know your area. You got to know your contractors and realtors. But it's definitely possible. to buy a deal, use the funds, cash out, refinance, pay off the debt, and you can still walk away with some. In my case, I was able to walk away with over $20,000 to put into a new deal here.
And then literally that's so awesome because I hear so many times from like especially like newer investors where it's just like literally exactly your position, right? They spend all these years saving for the down payment,
You're
you
going to
know,
work for 10 years.
yeah, right. And then you finally get into that first deal, you're asset rich and cash poor, and it's just like, all right, well, where the hell am I going to get the rest of the money to like rehab it? Or in your case, your realtor is an absolute savage, just sending you great off market deals with highly motivated sellers, where it's just like, I see this so many times where investors are like, well, all my money is tied up in this deal, but there's an even better deal here that's coming down the line. I want to get into it. I don't want to just like pass it off to the next guy because it's really good. I don't want to lose that opportunity, but they end up having to just because they don't have the money. But in this case, we were able to close, get rehab it, cash out, refi it, and boom, got into the deal with as minimal of your own cash as possible.
Yeah, that was all in. I had to hold it for 6 months, so that was
Hmm.
6 months. I did all that in six.
Yeah,
It wasn't, a 2 year process, and no, I got it all in 6 months.
which is
The
crazy.
day that it hit 6 months, I called my lender. I'm like, all right, we're ready to cash out, refinance. The day it was 6 month mark, I think I had to wait like
Yeah,
a day. I was like, okay, let's go. We started the cash out, and it took like a week, and I got 56,000, like 436 back, something like that.
nice. That's badass, dude.
Yeah, man. I
Oh
mean, it's
yeah,
definitely possible, but with your guidance, YouTube TV, people have different topics. YouTube, university, people have different topics on that. I knew what I was doing was achievable, but I wasn't gonna let my fear stop me.
yeah. No, definitely. It holds everybody back, but it's like so dope to see you actually putting everything into action.
Yeah,
Um,
the next one we're scaling, and it's going to be even a bigger cash out refinance. To be honest with you, I won't share
let's
that
go.
now. We can get into that maybe on another one, but yeah, it'll be a bigger one, and then I'm going to level up to the next level. Right? It's like life's a video game.
Yeah.
You just got to get to the next
Yes.
level. Life's a video game.
Exactly. Well, cool, dude. Just the last couple questions. What would you say to someone stuck in a job where, not necessarily they don't like it, but they kind of want more, or maybe they don't like it, what would you say to somebody who's in that position who feels like there's no way out?
So I would, okay, so a couple things. So I was in that position, right? When I first got married, I was a guy that would come home, watch a NBA game or a baseball game, whatever, right? So what I'm getting at is check your habits, right?
Mm,
Are you coming home and play video games every day? I did not play video games, but I know a lot of guys that go home, play video games.
yeah.
What media are you consuming? What type of habits do you have, right? Are you coming home and having two, three, four beers? Are you the guy that just watches sports? Are you playing video games? Check your habits and start there. And then look at the things you're consuming, right? There's a lot of people that get overconsumed with these, right? And just
Yes.
like scrolling. I'm always moving, man. Like it must something. And my mother's the same way. If she's not cleaning the house, she's cooking. If she's not doing that,
Yep.
it's something. It's learned behavior, but I always have to be moving. But because I'm always moving, I have to consume media. I have to listen to
Hmm.
something in with AirPods. So I'm always listening to something that's going to benefit me. Whether it's for a while, I had life insurance. I was really trying to understand whole life insurance. So I listened to a bunch of whole life insurance stuff before I got my policy. Before we did this with you, I was consuming a bunch. So I always have something in my ear. Change the media you're listening
Hmm.
to, and then change your time. Like you're giving time to somebody or something, and you're giving up what you could be in the next 5, 10, 15 years. Change the media that you're
Mm.
consuming, change your habits, start there. That's how I started. My wife was like, hey, when are you going to do XYZ? And almost
Yeah.
almost out of spite, I was like, you know what? I'm going to prove her wrong. I'm going to do that. Right. And then I did what I told her I was going to do. It was another financial goal. Right.
Let's go.
And I'm like, see, like I did it. And she's like, okay, so like, great. You like reach one level. And she's like, now you got to go do this. I'm like, you want me to do something else? I'm like, and then so also, if any of you have partners, you have to watch your partner, man. Like if your partner isn't pushing you to be better, then
Hmm.
that's going to, my wife pushes me to be better, and I push her to be better. She pushes herself to be better. I always tell my students this, and this to the company you keep, you are like the five most people you hang around with, right?
Hmm.
I tell my students, I mean, if you hang around five clowns, you're going to be the sixth clown. If you hang around five millionaires, you're going to be the sixth millionaire, right? So, and I know that's hard because, some people have family or certain people they have to interact with, but watch your habits, watch the media you consume, start small. I think,
Hmm.
I think like one of the first books I picked up that got me started was How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a great
Yep.
book. I love that book. I bought it used for like $1 on Amazon, like, books. It was like
Yeah.
used 1968 copy, has that old book smell.
Yeah.
It's by I keep it on my bedside. There's like 10 books I keep on my bedside that I thumb through because I'm a teacher in the summertime. What I do is I highlight the books I read them once, and then I go through the highlights to get through them quicker.
Ooh, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
And then if it's a there's a ton of things like Audible. I listen to a ton of Audible books. So I would say, to go back to what you're saying, someone that's doesn't know where to start, check your habits. What are you doing? Right? Is there somewhere you can be better, or you're trading time where you're not learning? Oh, I don't even know where to start. And guess what? YouTube, you start watching one video, it's going to recommend you something else to watch. And then that's how I started. Whether it
Hmm.
was stocks, options, life insurance, doing what we did, real estate. There's all these things, and they just recommend more things, and you just go down the rabbit hole. But if you're going down the wrong rabbit hole, you're going to be the same person you are in 5 years from now,
Hmm.
or today. So it's not hard.
I need to follow more of that advice as well. Like,
No, I mean, we
I
all we
totally,
all do it, right? Like right now, I'm like,
yeah,
it's fantasy football. I'm like, oh, dude, I got to sit this guy, drop this guy. But it's seasonal, right? I'm not doing that all year round,
all
right?
the time.
It's like
Yeah,
Saturday night, okay, I got to set my lineup, but I'm not doing this Monday through Sunday. That's where you get caught in the trap of, I don't know where to start.
yeah, and I
Algorithms are
feel,
very smart. AI is very smart. It's going to take you where you want to go. But
yeah, they want to keep you there on the like kind of like mind numbing or distracting things, and like kind of what I was taking away from what you were talking about. Like, obviously, be mindful of who you're hanging around with, what you consume, your habits. I feel like that just respect your time, right?
yeah,
Like that's what, at least for me, that's one of my biggest motivators. Is like, yeah, I want to provide for my family. I see this lifestyle that I see on Instagram. Like, I can fucking do that shit too. Like, but I know I need to be mindful of how I spend time every single day, and it needs to be moving in that direction. So, like some of your suggestions, like as simple as just listening, even passively, to like a podcast or something, just be around it, you know. Um, and then the other thing I really like what you said, maybe it's because you're Hispanic, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so I'm Filipino. We're like the Hispanic Asian, so we have a
yeah.
lot of similarities in values and culture. But like, with me, how you were talking about your mom, she's like always on the move. Like if if free time, she's cleaning or doing something to like
Yeah,
move
100%.
forward. I grew up the same way, seeing my mom do that. She's a doctor, and just like she wasn't working like a 24-hour shift, she was cleaning the house or doing something. And I saw her mom the same thing. She used to own like care homes, and she was taking care of old people that were younger than her, but like she didn't want to. She literally worked to the day she died, not because she had to, but because like you can't just sit around and do fuck off. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
playing video games, watching TV. It's good sometimes, but if it's like doing just your 9 to 5 bare minimum, you aren't hitting the gym or have these other goals, and you're just kind of distracting yourself with this fake dopamine hit of just like playing video games or whatever it is. Like you're gonna unfortunately see yourself 10 years from now in the same exact position, not
I
being fully
I
fulfilled.
I see guys in that position. I'm sure you do too. I know a handful of guys that are still playing Madden at 45 years old, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone makes the decisions. Somebody told me once before I leave you is we were talking about, this gentleman was like, why not you?
Yeah.
There's about, no, but you were not born with this mindset. This is
Yeah. Yeah.
I was not born with this mindset. So I made a decision in my life. You made a decision in your life. Now, these gentlemen and ladies have made more progress than us because they decided earlier than us, right?
Hmm.
Why not you? And whoever's listening to this, why not you? There's nothing short of you having a severe mental disability where you cannot do this. It's all what's in between your ears that's stopping you. Why not?
Yeah.
Somebody told me, why not you? And I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Why not me? There's
Yeah.
nothing,
Well, why the
there's
fuck
nothing,
not?
yeah, there's nothing that's going to stop me from leveling up besides fear or doubt, or, these are all things you can overcome. So
Yes.
for anyone that's listening to this, why not you?
Yes. I love
Right?
that. I
Why
love
not? So
that.
if it's not going to be you, it's going to be someone else. And you're like, damn,
And you're
like,
gonna be working for them. So it's like, why not have that?
yeah, yeah, you're
You
working
know
for
what I
them.
mean?
Like, why not you? So
No, I love that, dude. Thank you for like one, just taking the time, two, for
yeah.
just like your candid and how everything went, especially the inspiration part. Like
Yeah,
we definitely
I
gotta.
stopped listening to music a long time ago at the gym. I'm like 44 and I'm like, I can't listen to rap music anymore at the gym, man. I just feel like, so I just found this podcast. I think it's called, if anyone has Spotify, it's called Machiavelli Motivation. If anyone wants to listen to it,
Mm,
it's like a bunch of
yeah.
tracks, and it's be real tracks with like motivational speakers going over it. And I'm like, man, like this kind of pumps me up to like work out instead of
Yeah.
do a Lil Yachty or whatever.
Yeah. That's so funny because like we get about motivation all day, but just to leave it on this, like I actually do something similar where like I just have like this hundreds of videos saved on this YouTube playlist. I'm gonna send it to you. And
Yeah,
anybody watching this, if you're feeling like you're still in that fear brain, like said it, it's all what's in between your ears. It's your mindset, your brain. Like you literally have to like build this new perspective of getting out of that fear and taking risk and like, whether what any type of growth. And I literally like my first 10 minutes of the gym, I just listen to something motivational just to get
Mhm.
my mind right. And you'll be very surprised of like how much it'll teach you and how much that actually comes in just from listening to it passively and how you actually start acting in the world. Like, rather than you just on Instagram seeing all these ads to make you feel insecure, like you got to be very intentional on what you consume, just like what Carlos said. So, yeah, man, I really need all the inspiration. I'm gonna send you
Absolutely.
my playlist. You send me yours.
Sure.
Anybody watching this, if you guys are interested in it, let us know, and we want to be able to help you out, whether it's for real estate, funding, or just getting your mind right. We'll send that information. So,
Real quick
I'm.
before we go, so I'm looking at, I mean, I have a vision board. I know we're going longer than we thought, but I'm
Oh
looking
no,
at
it's good, dude. This is good stuff.
I'm looking at this vision board. I write down all these things. I have like blank checks with amounts of money on them. I have some of these numbers, right? So I mean, I got the whole thing here. But one of the things I wrote here, I'm looking at it. It's my vivid vision for 2027. I will have a pit bull puppy, not a puppy, but a pit bull puppy.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was walking a real estate property 3 weeks ago, and I found a pit bull puppy that was locked in a shed. And you see how hot it was, right? So like
Yeah.
I said this guy, I don't want to wake him up, but
Oh shit, you got it. That's freaking crazy.
yeah, man. So I actually, so write down your goals, man. Write down your goal. I
Yeah.
had no idea how I was gonna get a pit bull puppy, guys. I wasn't like in the market. I'm not gonna buy from a breeder, but
Hmm.
I have here. I will have a pit bull puppy,
Check
and
that off the list.
dude, the universe. I've already every year I write down the first week of January my goals for every year.
Nice. Okay.
Already knocked off like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 of them. And these were like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but you got to write out yourself. We can do this for another whole hour, but like
Yeah.
the power of intention gets you where you want to be.
Absolutely. Well, dude, hell yeah. Did honestly, this was such a great talk, dude. I
Yeah,
feel even if you aren't trying to invest, maybe you're just trying to get your health right. Like people are gonna get a lot out of this. So
yeah,
thank you
yeah.
for all the insight, man. So yeah, you guys, you heard it from Carlos. If you guys are ready to stop waiting and start building your own path to freedom, comment or DM us the word funding and let's see if we can help you guys get there. But Carlos, this is such a productive and
Just do it,
valuable
guys.
conversation,
Do it.
dude.
Just do
Let's
it.
do it. Oh yeah. Well, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for taking the time. Bye.
See ya.